Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
And you are listening to another episode of Jen Wilson in a bucket hat with heart-shaped sunglasses.
Yes.
You know, every so often the skies open up and the gods hear us, and you know we created a small video for it that you'll be seeing on social media. But
sure will.
A very dear friend, fan of the show, Sam.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. We made this happen. This is a blessed day. Jen was so thrilled, as you'll see. You know, Sam reached out.
Birthday surprise, my bucket hat, and my heart-shaped sunglasses.
It's beautiful. It's so nice. And we just feel the love. And thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for
so
making
much.
dreams come true. We feel like the Ronald McDonald House.
I am going to have to take this off, though, just because my headphones don't fit on properly with the hat. But I just, for our viewers, I just wanted you to see
share this moment with you.
This beautiful moment. I'm like, I feel like I'm like in the 90s, like a pop artist with like my hands over my ears.
You are. Oh my God.
Like a Britney Spears. But I also feel like I'm like an Olsen twin right now.
Yeah, it takes two.
With the sunglasses for sure.
Yeah.
I was always Mary Kate. Okay?
Oh my God.
So
always.
everyone listening that might not be seeing this on YouTube, Jen has a baby blue bucket hat with a smiley face on it.
Yes.
And these heart-shaped sunglasses, but there's a degradé from like a blue
They're
to
everything.
red.
They're everything.
It's like a Miami sunset.
I will wear these.
You will. I know you will.
I will.
You look really great, honestly.
I know.
You
And
do.
it's a nice homage too to our one of our previous episodes of Secret Mall Condo.
Well,
I know. Well, because
exactly.
all I talked about in that episode was how badly I wanted the bucket hat and my rhinestone sunglasses.
I know. And
Claire's.
I know.
From Claire's. I'm like living my Claire's life right now.
I know. And the thing was, Sam had mentioned, she was like, I was just laughing so much at Jen with her request for a bucket hat. And I just loved it. And she was like, and so help me God, I tried my best to find the ones with the gems on them, which was impossible. So
They're vintage.
They're vintage.
They're vintage
They
now.
really are. But thank you so much, Sam. This was such a nice surprise.
I know.
When Mark told me that there was something here waiting for me, I was a little scared.
She was like, I'm kind of frightened. I'm not going to lie.
He's like, I'm going to film this. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but...
You don't know what's going on.
Jen opened it like it was Pandora's box.
I know. like we were in the movie Saw.
Like Hellraiser.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Sam. We love our listeners.
We do.
We love our fans.
And speaking of, I've been meaning to acknowledge these two names, and I haven't before, but we have two new patrons?
Patrons
on
yes.
Patreon,
Patreon folk.
Joanne, we adore you. You're
you,
fantastic.
Joanne.
She is my homegirl. Chloe, you as well. You are also a homegirl. You both are just fantastic
Thank
people.
you, Joanne and Chloe.
Just in general, even without the support. But
And we have
thank
Michael
you guys.
also.
And Michael.
Always
I know.
Michael.
I know.
Yeah,
And we did
our
thank
heart.
Michael before.
He's the
but
OG.
He is. You have been day 2, day 1 Patreon.
Day before Patreon.
Day before? Yes, he was on Anchor supporting
I know.
us.
Yeah.
So you are beloved. And just wanted to take that moment to share my diaper.
I'm really, you're a full diaper, but I'm really excited because Mark has a special topic for us, and I'm really excited and really eager
So
to
horny.
Wait.
I'm really horny for it.
I'm so horny for it too.
Where are you taking us tonight, Mark?
Well, pack your bags.
I love a good trip.
We're going on a trip to hell.
Oh my God.
No.
I love that.
But before we pack our bags, I'm going to ask you guys, what is a final destination moment or near-death experience that you have had where you were like, oh shit, this could actually be it?
I have a good one.
Okay.
Should I share?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know if it was exactly like, oh, this could be it, but I think I may have like touched on this before, but a very dear friend of Mark and I, our friend Lee, we were in my like first car and we were going over the Walt Whitman Bridge into Philly, and he had commented like, oh, it sounds like there's a noise in the car. I was like, oh, it's probably shit rolling around in the trunk. But then after that, we're driving, everything's fine. And on the way back, he's like, I still hear that fucking noise. And I was like, it's fine. And before you know it, the car just went boom on the bridge. And like the rim and tire had both detached from the car.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, at the moment, we just thought it was like, oh, tire blowout. But looking in the mirror, it was rolling down the lane and like rolling faster and faster because we were going downhill, and it hit the back of the car because I was looking at it, and my internal dialogue, not wanting to like freak him out or myself more, was, this is gonna fucking hit the car, isn't it? I was like, there it comes. And it was fast.
And tires will kill you.
Oh yeah. And it was a 2-door like old Roadster, so like there was no car. It was like trunk and then the people in the car, but like the trunk was like that big.
It was tiny.
Yeah. You've been in that car.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of those moments where it's like, oh fuck, this could kill us.
This could kill us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to just take it back to one of the older episodes we did about the shark attacks when I was in the ocean down at Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
And there was a really, really intense undertow, and my friend and I just got pushed all the way out and like up 5 lifeguard stands.
That's frightening.
And when it was time, we were like, you know what? We're ready to get out. And like, we're just trying to like move, and we're trying to like kind of move our arms.
Yeah.
And we were just like at a standstill.
Oh my God.
And there was at least 12 other people out there with us. And we had a bunch of lifeguards that had to come out and rescue us.
Oh shit. Baywatch. Pam Anderson came.
I mean, the guy was like, I remember like he was pretty hot.
Oh, that's nice at least.
But then like, I was holding on to him, and then like the waves just took me under and just like rolled me back out to shore. So it wasn't like as like exciting as you would see on Baywatch, but that was one of those experiences that happened like over 10, 12 years ago, but I have not stepped foot in the ocean at the Jersey Shore since.
I don't fucking blame you. That is scary.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with the ocean.
Well, with the Jersey Shore, you never know. We were going to get in a wave. It's like a syringe needle, a jellyfish, or
a diaper.
Well, when I went to go see fish in Atlantic City, like I saw like hippies taking shits in the ocean. So,
Oh God,
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh my God.
Mother Nature's bidet.
Yeah.
True.
Do you have one, Mark?
Yes, I have many. Because I live life in the fast lane.
Don't listen to her.
No, I don't. But a few years ago, or maybe like 10 years ago, when I was still living at home with my parents, we lived in this really like highly crime-ridden neighborhood. And
yes.
We know.
The
We
one
know.
night, yes. And the one night I was coming home and I had to park my car on the street because our driveway was full. And as I parked my car, I had this like weird outer body experience where my body just like tensed up and would not let go of the steering wheel. And I knew in my heart that something really dreadful was about to happen. And I didn't know what. And I refused to turn the car off. And I was just like, sit and wait. Something bad is going to happen if you get out of the car. So I look down the street, and this is at like, 1 o'clock in the morning. And there was this guy, and he started walking towards the car, but in a zigzag formation. And I was like, that's not good. If he's walking like that, like he's up to no good. So he goes up to my car and pulls a gun out and is literally about to carjack my ass. But because I kept the car on, I just floored it. And I was like, and just flew the fuck
my God.
out of there.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, it was like a fucking...
Was he like shooting after you as you drove away?
No, it wasn't that.
Oh my God, that's very cinematic.
It wasn't
though.
that dramatic.
It is,
It's very
right?
cinematic.
But my gay ass just floored it in smoke.
Jen was like, did a Quentin Tarantino sequence follow?
Yes.
It wasn't,
I love it.
It wasn't that salacious, but it was still scary.
Yeah.
For sure. And
That
it
is
would have been like,
frightening.
if he blew my head off for that fucking piece of shit car?
Oh my God.
That's the real tragedy.
Can you imagine?
So that's my near-death experience.
Damn.
You could say.
Wow. So we all, listen, cars,
Guns,
cars again,
cars and
ocean.
oceans.
I don't fuck with the ocean.
No.
Tires.
Yeah.
I mean, after Titanic,
Oh my God. How can we forget Jack and Rose?
Yeah.
I'll never let go.
That true life nonfiction story.
I know.
Yeah.
Nonfiction in a true life universe.
Yeah.
Well, if we all liked the Violet Jessup episode,
We've had so many
I
comments
think
about
that was a
Titanic.
great one.
so this is gonna beat it, Violet.
Beat it, Violet. We got something else.
We got
coming.
someone else in town, and her name is Juliane Koepcke.
Juliane Koepcke.
Or is it Juliane? Juliane.
I would say it's Julianne.
Yeah.
Juliane. Okay. So
Yeah, why
for the
not?
sake of the podcast, it's Juliane, but it could be Juliani. Because yeah. But let's just say Juliane. So if we're wrong,
That's fine.
you'll let us know.
Come after us.
Yeah, come after us via
Try
Patreon.
it. Jen's got her bucket hat now. She's not fucking with you.
But don't leave us 1 star.
No, please
Okay.
don't.
So
Unnecessary.
let's talk about Juliane, because her story is so bizarre and it is so fucked up and scary and interesting.
I love it.
So it's 1971.
We're going back to the
I know.
70s again.
Yes.
We 77, 76,
79.
71.
We've done
Yeah.
79 too.
So we're in
it.
71, and my shirt that I'm wearing is a vintage shirt from the 70s.
There you
Sure
go.
is.
It's polyester, and
This might be what
the
she.
sweat just
I
comes
feel
right
like
off.
I'm wearing something kind of from the 70s
Yeah.
We're having a moment.
too. Like a little like bohemian.
Are.
Yeah, with like the paisley print
Yes.
on the sleeves.
Yes.
Oh my God, you
Flowy.
guys are actually
Yeah,
matching.
we kind of match.
We do.
Wow.
That was unintentional.
Not planned.
Yep, not planned.
It's 1971. A plane with 92 passengers aboard disappears into the Peruvian jungle without a trace. After 10 days, the entire search was completely abandoned. On the 12th day, Juliane Koepcke, who was 17 years old, was the sole survivor of LANSA Flight 508.
Oh,
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
where was this flight? Where was the origin and where was the destination?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about Miss
I feel
Julie.
like I'm like
I wanted to give you guys like the little
all right.
preview.
I was
love
like,
it.
I was just like jumping the gun here. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Bucket hat feelings.
That bucket hat. Okay.
Always and forever.
Yeah.
Juliane was born October 10th, 1954 in Lima, Peru. Her parents were originally from Germany, but they had moved to South America.
Okay.
Cool.
They originally worked at the Museum of Natural History in Peru, but eventually established a research center in the Amazon when she was 14 years old. So she had a very like cool multicultural.
That's really awesome. I wish my
background.
parents did that.
Me too.
Yeah,
If I ever have children, that's what I'm going to do to them. Travel the world and just get up and move all over the place.
Like you're in the forest now.
it might
Exactly,
it might
like-
save their lives in the
Well,
future.
You know what though? It's like they're cultured. They're
Yeah.
exposed to different parts of life.
Absolutely.
I think that's what's awesome about Juliane.
yeah.
Yeah. From her upbringing, she had this very eclectic childhood with an emphasis on jungle survival. She really had a strong appreciation for nature
It's exactly what every child has, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
and iPhones.
I do. Yeah.
She was very passionate about the earth.
Okay.
Her father, his name was Hans Wilhelm Koepcke.
Hey Hans.
Hey, Hans.
Hans Wilhelm Koepcke.
Horny.
And her mother was Maria Koepcke, and the mother studied birds, and the father studied fauna.
Fauna.
Is
Fauna.
that
Flowers?
like ferns?
Flowers?
Fauna? Is that like plants that grow in the heat?
Maybe.
I believe
don't
so.
know.
I think of like sweaty plants when I
Just
hear the word
remember
fauna, because it sounds like
of
sauna.
ours, Alex Vag, reference fauna in something, and I think it referred to floral.
Fauna is sometimes a clue in my morning crossword puzzles.
Oh.
I think it's a plant. I
Or
think so.
plants and let us know what it
Let
is.
us
We're too
know.
lazy to Google
Plants
that.
and birds.
Yeah, plants and birds, whatever.
And everything in between.
There you go.
So as she got older, she ended up attending high school far away from home.
Like all teenagers do.
Like
right?
all, yeah. But like I think hers was like abroad. Like,
Oh.
like those ones where you sleep at. On
Horny.
So on this is weird. I guess maybe in like other countries they have a different like fiscal calendar than we do
They
with
do.
the school year.
They
but
do, because I don't think the breaks are as long as like here, where we have like almost 3 months for summer break.
Oh, well, She attended this high school and graduated from high school on December 23rd, 1971.
Okay.
Yeah, Julianne.
Get it, girl? Now, 24 hours, just to put it into perspective, 24 hours before the day of the plane crash, she attended her high school prom.
Oh,
Did
shit.
she have a date?
I mean, I think this might be her prom photo, and she's alone. So I don't know. I mean, maybe she did. I don't know. Don't quote me on it,
Okay.
please. Maybe they didn't have dates at proms.
Maybe.
there.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe you did it in Peru.
I have no idea.
Maybe if you were a pure virgin, you didn't imply that you were with somebody. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
Or maybe she brought like a bird. As a
Or a
date.
fauna.
Or
That
fauna.
would be cute.
Flora fauna.
And
Yeah.
so now, since she had completed high school, she just graduated, and now it's like basically Christmas Eve.
Time to do hot girl shit.
Exactly.
hot girl
Like we
shit.
all do in the 70s.
Her mother and Juliane were like, okay, it's time to fly back home for Christmas. And home for them was this, research center in the Amazon rainforest.
Oh, wow. It is
So
hot
it
there.
is hot. So now, due to the high volume of flights going on right now, because it is Christmas Eve,
Oh, yeah. Forget it.
it's almost impossible to find, for them, it was almost impossible to find one that would enable them to get home in time for Christmas
Yeah.
or the
Okay.
holiday.
Makes sense.
They were basically limited to one last option, which was the doomed Flight 508 with LANSA, an airline that was really notorious for their horrid reputation as an airline. So that was like the shittiest
It's like Spirit
airline.
Airlines.
JetBlue.
No, JetBlue's not as bad. Spirit Airlines is the fucking worst.
Well, the last airplane Mark and I were on, I swear, I was like, is this thing made out of tin fucking cans? The goddamn seats were so horrendous. Like, I would have rather slept on, like, I don't know,
It was awful.
a pile of rocks would have been better.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this airline called LANSA.
All right, Lanza.
So you really know what
LANSA.
you're getting into.
Tony Lanza.
So LANSA was a commercial airline based in Peru, which was established in 1963 and lasted until January 1972.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Oh, yeah, short-lived.
They lasted till 1972 because that year their operating authority was taken away.
Oh, I was going to say, they ran out of money from being sued so many times?
Exactly,
Yes.
for killing 1,000. Not thousands, but.
This airline had multiple accidents and plane crashes. And I'm going to give you like quick streamline examples.
Love
of
it.
Okay.
All right, give it.
April 27th, 1966, there was a plane crash. 10 minutes after it took off, it crashed into a mountainside. 49 people killed.
Fuck.
Oh,
Damn.
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. The second one, August 9th, 1970. Plane crashed from losing complete power in one of the engines shortly after taking off.
I feel like these are the planes that are made out of fucking tin cans.
Yeah, definitely.
According to the Peruvian
Put
government,
together with like duct tape and fucking Gorilla
Spit.
Glue.
duct tape and spit.
Yeah.
So, according to the Peruvian government, the accident was caused by improper execution of engine out procedures by the flight crew on top of overcrowding on the airplane. From this, 101 people died.
And they were still allowed to operate. So 101
Yeah.
plus 49.
Jesus H.
So
fucking
We're at 150 for their
Christ on
kill
a
count.
cracker.
As a result, the airline was fined and had a 90-day flight suspension. So
Like
they
you-
couldn't operate for
Oh,
90
a
days.
whopping 95 days.
You killed
Ooh.
150.
You killed 150 people,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna get a suspension, and then you can go back and fly again. Cool.
Sounds like what's probably going to happen with that Kyle Rittenhouse tool.
Oh.
We went there.
We did.
Little asshole. And and then
works.
finally on December 24th, 1971, which is the plane crash we're going to be talking about, 91 people were killed.
So 91.
So
carry the
91,
pie.
101, 40. So let's just say like 250 people
Altogether.
All together now.
You know, I mean, it's a little bit less. We're not mathematicians here.
That's right.
No, we're just here to entertain you.
Yeah.
We are.
And aside from that, it should be noted, some of the people who had worked on building these airplanes and servicing these airplanes never worked with airplanes in their lives.
That would be like me.
They worked with motorcycles.
That'd be like
Oh my
me
God.
waking up and saying, gee, I'm going to go work for NASA today.
Yeah. Or let's reference Butcher Brown. I'm going to go do sex changes today.
Yep.
I'm going to go run for president of the United States. And you saw what happened in 2016.
Yes,
So,
girl, preach.
And with this airline, passengers would always complain that it was bumpy and loud and horrible service.
well, again,
Horrible surface.
when you put a fucking plane together with tin cans and Gorilla Glue
Yeah,
and
and
spit
tape
and
and
duct tape,
Bubble
of course.
gum. Yeah.
So now with LANSA,
Lanza.
on Christmas Eve of 1971, Flight 508 was a domestic passenger flight leaving from Lima to Pucallpa,
Acapulco.
Peru.
Pucallpa, Peru.
Pucallpa.
Coco, Peru.
Oh boy, every Spanish
I love
teacher I ever had
Coco,
is like gonna
Peru.
kill
I
me.
know, she's great.
Anyways,
Yes.
it went from one place to another.
That
in
bothers me.
Peru.
Boy, this.
Giuliani and her mother took this flight, like I said, as a last resort because they were really desperate to be home in time for the holiday.
Well,
For the
anyone-
horny holiday.
Anyone would want to be home for the fucking holidays.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I've traveled.
Speak for yourself. I'm just kidding.
I know we're all like fucking hermits when it comes to the
I
holidays.
know. I have a strong aversion to holiday things.
Me too. I hate the holidays.
They hate us.
They
They
hate
do.
us.
You're right. They do.
Julianne's mother, Maria, was very skeptical about using this airline because of its shitty reputation. Julianne mentions her mother's trepidation in this 1998 documentary called Wings of Hope.
By Werner Herzog.
Yes.
The wind beneath my wing.
Hocus Pocus.
So I'll be mentioning this documentary a few times in this because it's really interesting and it sheds a lot of information on this. All right, so her mom was like scared and trepidatious because it's a hard airline.
Well, again, when your plane is made out of tin cans and Gorilla Glue and
You should be
spit
scared, yeah.
and duct tape and
all of it.
stickers and
Lisa Frank stickers.
yes.
Bird caca.
Yeah.
As they were flying over the rainforest, they encountered a huge storm to which the plane would have to be flying through. The crew decided to continue onward despite the hazardous conditions and extremely rough turbulence. So this was a poor choice that was most likely influenced by the pressure to meet the holiday schedule. And I'm like, fuck Christmas. People get so wrapped up into it.
I know.
Like, chill out.
People die for Jesus all the time. So
Exactly.
it's
Just
so
not us.
stupid.
that's right. Jesus died for somebody's sins, but not mine.
Yeah. It should also be noted that this specific airplane that crashed was assembled entirely by parts
cans.
by tin cans, by parts of other airplanes.
Oh, so
So,
the
like-
equivalent.
so
Don't tell me it's like from the planes that crashed and they like
Well,
took those
haunted.
planes and like
Knowing LANSA,
haunted.
probably.
and
Oh my
like put
God.
them together.
I mean, it
it's
could be.
fine. Like,
my
it's
I'm
God.
fine.
not saying it's demons, but it's,
it's
demons.
demons.
It sounds like demons.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's dead people plane parts, but it's dead people plane parts.
So
Jesus
this,
Christ.
the way that I phrase this is it's literally a janky Frankenplane.
Well, it
Frankenplane.
sounds yeah,
flying
Frankenplane.
through a damn storm. So upon doing so, the plane was struck by a bolt of lightning, causing the plane to crash. On this specific flight, there were 86 passengers, 6 crew members. From this, 91 people died out of 92.
Whoa. That's right.
However, the plane was only fit for 82 passengers, meaning they
So does that mean
crammed-
people were like sitting on laps?
Maybe.
Maybe, or I think, yeah, that's a very good point.
And like, here's
Like
my
children or
question.
something?
Like, here's
Yeah.
my other question. Like, before we move on with this, I mean, I'm sure technology, was not as it is now, but surely there was some way to detect what the weather would be like for like flying.
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know.
I think they probably could have.
They just like put their finger in the air and test the wind and be like, okay, like let's see how this is gonna go today.
So it was most definitely overcrowded. They crammed 10 more additional people on board. Now the sole survivor was Juliane Koepcke, the 17-year-old who literally had her high school prom 24 hours before this catastrophe.
If we don't know if she had a prom date or not.
I don't know.
No, we don't. It's TBD.
TBD.
Yeah.
In this documentary about her experience, it's called Wings of Hope, Juliane describes the crash. Her description of this is very...
Oh, it's fucking...
It will send chills
rough.
down your spine.
It is. Like, it's amazing. Mark is refreshing my mind on all this because I've seen this documentary a while ago. It's fantastic, haunting, chilling. 1,000,000% recommend seeing.
Yeah. She's a very
Is there
interesting
a platform
person.
that we can stream this on?
I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Illegally
you can watch
or
it for
not,
free.
it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wings of Hope. She describes the crash and she mentioned that, you know, it was incredibly stormy. It was a really bumpy plane ride. And as the plane flew into the clouds, it became darker and darker and darker to the point where a huge blinding flash occurred when the plane was hit by the lightning. One of her last memories is her mother yelling, "This is the end."
Oh my God. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking bummer.
It gets worse and darker. She describes the havoc inside the airplane while it's like going down. She said, luggage, machinery, Christmas presents were literally being thrown all over the place, like popcorn.
Oh, shit.
Then she continues to say that she started to black out as the plane did a nosedive plummet while she heard all of the passengers screaming in horror.
Oh, my God.
For me, the most off-putting thing that she mentions was that no longer being in the plane and simply falling in the sky. And she says it as, it wasn't as if I left the plane. It felt more like the plane left me.
What the fuck?
It simply just wasn't there anymore.
I can't even, like, that is such a descriptive description.
Yeah.
Just like imagine if you're in a room and then it's sucked out and you're like in midair. Like, what the fuck?
No, thank
So-
you. That's why I have to be like completely like intoxicated
Me
to get
too.
on a plane.
Mark knows.
Like,
I was frightened.
yeah, you got to give me something to like
Frightened.
ease the
I
nerves.
know. We were landing, and Mark was like, "Are we dying?"
No, when
Well,
we
like
were
takeoff
taking
and
off,
landing
I thought I was
are
gonna die.
like the worst two
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
Next thing she knows, she's literally in the sky, strapped to her seat, free falling through storm clouds.
So she was like just her in her seat.
Yeah.
So like that moment from The Wizard of Oz with when Dorothy's in the tornado and you see like the people like riding the bike in the sky, like
Yeah.
that was her.
That was her.
Holy shit.
Now, during her fall, she did begin to spiral towards the earth from 2 miles above. So she was 2 miles up in the sky and she fell.
Wow.
Literally fell. 2 miles. She said that as she grew closer and closer to the earth or the ground, she said that the treetops of the rainforest look like broccoli. So the next time you look at broccoli, that's what the Amazon rainforest looks like from 2 miles.
And think of yourself falling into that broccoli.
Yeah, frightening.
Yeah.
She eventually hits the ground. She gets knocked out unconscious, doesn't wake up for about a day and a half. During this time, she states that she can remember dreaming about being dirty and covered in mud and looking for a place to take a bath. She also was dreaming that her body was floating in a room and that her body was part mechanic and part airplane and then part human.
What the?
That's
So
a
she was
crazy.
I don't
having
remember
these
any of that.
dreams.
That's a really crazy
Yeah.
like description.
And a
That's
day
right.
and a half.
Yeah, because she suffered like a concussion and all sorts of like these weird injuries. So yeah, weird dreams and everything because she was all like unconscious and shit in the rainforest. it's weird because she fell 2 miles from the sky and survived a plane crash. There's some explanations as to how she survived that fall, because I'm sure every one of us is thinking, like, how the hell do you survive a 2-mile fall?
Yeah.
Especially like when it's just you in a chair.
Yeah, really. One girl, one chair.
Yeah. Like, I was like running 2 years ago and my ankle did a roll and I fell into a ditch and I almost died. There's no way in hell I would have survived a plane crash.
Yes.
The end.
Yeah.
Here's some quick explanations. Number one, thunderclouds create updrafts, which drive everything upwards, which could have slowed down her fall.
Okay.
Number two, the spiral fall was likely due to the fact that she was sitting in a row of 3 seats and her seat was at the end of the row.
Was it the aisle or the window? So
I think it was the window.
Okay.
Yeah. The other 2 passengers that were sitting in her little row situation were sucked out of their seats.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So because she was so I think the weight kind of shifted because she was on the end, which created that spiral.
Yeah.
Because it was like uneven weight. Where the seat was found, the trees were so densely intertwined with vines that it almost created like a safety net, which broke her fall as she hit the ground.
Gotcha.
So I think that like all 3 of these elements came into play, which is how she was able to at least survive the overall fall.
Yeah,
yeah.
because like the tree branches probably like slowed it down to an extent.
Yeah.
Along with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that like the universe really lined itself up for her to survive
The
this fall.
stars are in line that day.
Yeah.
Well, for her, not for
Not for everyone else.
but for
What
her,
makes her so lucky?
So she finally wakes up from her injuries, right? She's got a concussion, a broken clavicle, a gash in her shin, but the gash in her shin was not bleeding. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because apparently due to shock. If you have a tense shock, you won't
Your body.
bleed.
Oh, well, that's right. I think it's like in surgery and stuff, like your body knows that something traumatic is happening. So it kind of like preserves
Yeah.
certain vital.
Another one more.
Where's
She
something?
had a gash in her arm, which was already infected with maggots.
Oh,
By the time she woke up.
Don't tell me she had to get it amputated.
Oh, honey, we'll talk. No. So she finally,
We love an amputee moment.
Yeah, we love a good amputation
Spider-Man.
story here. So it should also be noted that when the plane had crashed, she was wearing a miniskirt because that was what you wore.
Because it was
That
71.
was what the times were.
It's the Amazon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So it's
hot.
only, so like she is not wearing like, I don't know, body armor or like cargo
No.
pants.
Yeah.
You know, like she's wearing like a mini skirt, and then during the fall she lost her shoe. So she had a mini skirt and one shoe on.
Didn't we have another episode where Dr. Brown had one shoe when he would...
Yes.
And we also had Jerry Burdos, the
Who
shoe
loved all the
fetish,
shoes.
shoe fetish slayer.
We love shoes here.
We do.
Sorry.
We're a fan of shoes
I
at
love
Bizarre
a shoe.
Buffet.
Bizarre Buffet sports shoes.
That was like her outfit.
Of course, Mark would have to like cover the outfit.
Yes, it's
I
a
love it.
necessity.
Thank you. Surviving the fall for her was like a 1 in a million chance of surviving, and she survives the fall. But that is just the first part of this story. Oh, shit. Yeah. Don't worry, it's not going to dry.
Horny for the jungle.
Horny for the fucking Amazon, bitch.
So she survives the plane fall, and you're like, oh, okay. Like,
in her mini
that's the
skirt with
story.
one
No.
shoe.
Oh, and the maggot-filled arm or shin.
We don't know if it's
So-
amputated yet.
Now, in the documentary Wings of Hope, they fly her out to the site of the plane crash.
that's
He's
like-
brutal.
Circa, now this is like 1996,
Oh,
98.
that's torture.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, he's a good time. He does like a lot of controversial shit.
Who
but
is he?
Werner Herzog.
Yes.
He's
okay.
like, show me where the plane crashed.
Yes.
Exactly. She walked
Yeah.
5 miles with a maggot-infested arm to her destination. Like that type of shit.
Literally that shit.
Oh my god,
So-
I can't wait to hear it again.
Yeah, so basically they fly her out to the crash site to help her retrace her steps, and she shares her story. Her approach is very matter of fact the entire time. She seems very emotionally unfazed
Which is
during
jarring
the
in
thing.
itself.
Yeah.
Well, when you go through that type of trauma that young,
You like disassociate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, she even admits that that's her own personal coping mechanism that helped her manage this trauma.
I get
which
it.
makes sense.
That's my life. Yeah.
me too.
Get it.
Before flying her to the site of the crash, it actually took the documentary crew days and days to find the area where it crashed because the vegetation was so high and it was so deep in the rainforest. Like,
Oh shit.
like we're talking
Damn.
like fucking Anaconda can't even find this shit. Oh my That's how deep in the rainforest
not
it
even
was.
John Voight and his
Not
boat.
even, no, not Jennifer Lopez, not the guy with the nose. Who's the guy with the fucked up nose?
Oh, one of the Wilsons.
Owen Wilson.
Owen.
They could not really find it. It took them a long time. The crew ends up making a small camp amongst the wreckage, which is completely covered in vegetation. Like, you would never know there was a plane crash there at all. In some scenes, you can actually see her coming face to face with pieces of airplane where she
You
encounters
mean pieces
remember
of tin
that.
cans?
of tin cans.
Yeah, soup cans.
She encounters fuselage parts and luggage and seats and machinery, and she even opens up a woman's coin purse. There's just like remnants that have been
Haunting.
sitting in this jungle since
Oh, I
1971.
thought you said horny.
Horny haunting.
Haunting horny.
Haunting horny.
Hauntingly horny.
Yeah.
You can barely walk through this area of the rainforest because of how dense it is. It took the crew like an entire day just to walk 300 feet
Well, you know what?
with machetes and boots and
But you know what I love about that is that it backs her shit even more. That gives you a perspective. Just imagine what it was like for her if a fucking professional crew who was going on a plane that wasn't made of tin cans and
Right.
cat pee
And kitty litter.
and kitty litter and newspapers.
now you guys like understand
Visual, baby.
a visual of this rainforest
Yeah.
and like how much of a nightmare it is to walk through it. So now after she wakes up, she realizes, fuck, like I'm completely alone.
So sad.
Also, her eyes were swollen, so she could barely see. She wore glasses.
Oh, and her glasses were gone, right?
Eyes were swollen. Glasses
Oh,
are gone.
shit.
It's so sad. When she finally like woke up, she was crawling on all fours with her main concern of finding her mother.
Oh,
Because
stop
they were very close. They were very close.
God.
Fuck.
So this is where it gets really ghastly.
Oh, God.
So
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
in navigating through the wreckage and looking for her mother, she encountered a site of dead bodies. She just wanted to make sure that none of them were her mom. One encounter that really sticks out for her, she found a row of 3 passengers that were still in their seats.
Oh my God.
However, they were upside down, buried 3 feet in the ground from the impact.
3 feet?
3 feet.
So they were sitting in their chairs, like in their seatbelts, upside down.
Yes. So when they fell to the earth, they went head first.
Oh my God.
And the force was so strong that not only did they fall head first, but it took them 3 feet.
Gross.
So, yeah, gross for sure, and horrifying and gross.
Can you imagine what the other side looked like? Whoa!
Oh, flat.
Oh,
Pancakes.
Sorry. NC-17 label, people. Sorry.
So she like encounters this, and it's literally like, I guess it's like feet sticking out of the ground or legs sticking out of the ground. And she was like, "Oh my God, like what
Like
if
that scene in Fargo.
I've never seen Fargo.
You've never seen, you know what I'm talking about, right, Mark? With the foot
Never
through
seen
the
it.
wood chopper.
Never seen it.
CB Shemmy. All right, I'm sorry.
No, it's
Continue.
good. No.
It's a good reference.
Hashtag horny Buscemi.
So Fargo.
Fargo.
Fargo for a visual aid.
Yeah, there you go.
So
And that woman, Frances McDermott,
Yes.
Normand.
So we're gonna take our geography back to the rainforest.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
hell yeah.
So-
Hot girl rainforest
All right.
shit.
So she comes across these like fucking feet sticking out of the ground or legs or whatever, and she's like, "Oh my God, what if one of them is my mom?"
Don't tell me that one of the feet sticking out of the ground was her mother.
So to find out if it was her mom or not, she ended up having to
Touch the feet.
She removed them with a stick. She was like,
Oh my
she was
God.
petrified.
Oh, I
The
feel
shoes.
so bad
she
for
removed
her.
she removed the shoes with a stick, not the feet. The shoes.
Okay.
So because she was like mortified to touch a dead body, like any
Well,
sane person
any
would be.
Fucking person would do that.
She checked, and Oddly enough, all the women that were in that 3-seat row they had toenail polish, and she was like, okay, that's not my mom. She doesn't wear toenail polish. But it's like a fucked up thing to have to,
that is
to
really
do.
morbid.
It's like you're looking at dead people's feet to figure it out if that's your loved one. Can't find her mom, and here she is, torn miniskirt, a bajillion injuries,
a maggot-filled
arm,
no glasses.
She has one shoe on and a bag of candy.
What kind of candy do we know?
I don't know.
Twizzlers?
I hope it was Sour Patch Kids because she's gonna need that sugar.
Was there Sour Patch Kids in the 70s?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably like crack.
Whoppers. Yeah,
So-
crack.
What was Mary Jane's? Didn't we talk
Oh
about Mary?
god, yeah, those things are the devil. She had the candy. It was like a small bag, not enough to like really survive off of, but it was something. She noticed that search planes did fly overhead, but none of them seemed to spot the wreckage because of the density of the rainforest.
Well,
Seems
exactly.
fucking
It's
pointless.
like,
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like it's really hard to probably find any sort of like
Anything.
anything in the fucking rainforest because of the trees and the green and the fucking
And the clouds too, and
You're not going to see.
fog.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
going to see feet sticking out of the ground like a goddamn.
and the trees are very.
succulent-
They're also very.
succulent.
They're
Fauna.
dense and they're tall too.
Yeah, like broccoli
Yeah.
and fauna.
She realized, like, fuck, they're not going to find me. So she was smart enough to realize, like, hey, they're not going to find me. She was right, because in 2 days, the search team had completely given up.
In 2 days?
In 2
That's
days.
a quick give up time.
That's like,
Yeah.
fuck that. Like,
48 hours.
let me go on my coffee and donut break. Like,
in the
Yeah.
rainforest.
in the rainforest
So when she realizes...
with my Mary Jane candy.
Mary Jane's... So when she realizes this, she's really, she is determined to define her own fate and to tap into everything she really ever learned with growing up in the rainforest or
There you go.
her parents.
Well, yeah.
So,
Go survival mode, baby.
so now she turns into
Wilson.
like full-on beast mode.
Yeah.
Love it.
This is why she's so fucking cool. I mean,
know.
she's cool that she like survived the plane crash and shit, but she's even cooler for this. So she navigated her way with a stick, fighting mosquitoes, cold rain, snakes, poison plants, venomous spiders, crocodiles, stingrays, and every kind of danger you will find in the
No,
rainforest.
thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Eventually, she does find a stream, and she follows it for days on end, surviving with a rationed bag of candy
Mary Jane's.
and licking leaves for their water droplets. And she did encounter...
Jen, do that on screen again, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She did encounter a cake, like a fruit cake, but it was
fruitcake!
covered in dirt. And
Where
she
did, was the
not
fruit cake like
eating
from
it.
the crash or just like some random like
from the crash.
navigator?
Someone left it there.
there on
Who
the
left
side
this
of-
fruitcake here?
It was from the crash.
But can I say, I don't know if you have this in your notes or not, but I feel like I just remembered certain things. Like, I haven't seen this documentary in years, so I'm like relearning with all of you. But I do remember that there was one part in the documentary where she was like, I had seen the fruitcake earlier in my journey.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and she didn't bother to take it.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not going to need that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get out of here quick.
Something,
Or something like
Yeah,
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did kind of regret not taking the dirt-covered fruitcake.
Horny for fruitcake.
Horny for fruitcake. Hashtag. Like,
She mentioned several times that while walking through the river, she would encounter some crocodiles. But she knew that if she held her ground, the crocodiles would splash around in fear and then scamper.
oh. As she threw the Mary Janes at their head.
She was like, take this old lady candy.
Yeah.
Papa."
They were like, no, I don't want that.
Following the water, in theory, will get you to a larger body
Well, of course,
of water.
yeah.
And therefore, you would probably find civilization and help.
Okay. True.
Now, after 11 days of trekking through the rainforest with one shoe,
One damn
A
shoe.
maggot-filled
One shoe.
wound
And a one shoe.
she eventually finds help.
fruit
and a
cake.
mini skirt.
Yep.
She finds help after 11 days. But even that was a fucking horror show for her because
I'm so tired for her.
I am too.
The way she encounters this is that like she's like on day 11, she's like about to die, and She's like, delirious and all that shit. And she encounters a small paddle boat, but barely even recognizes it because she's so delirious. She's succumbing to her injuries. She's starving. At this point, she was just letting her body drift through the water, kind of like Ophelia.
Oh.
Ophelia realness.
Hey, Shakespeare.
Hey, Willie Shakes.
Willie Shakes.
She was having like an Ophelia moment, feeling it. Well, no, she wasn't.
She was not
Sorry,
feeling it.
Not funny. But she crawls out of the river up a 5-foot ditch leading to a path where it took her hours to climb up the 5-foot ditch because she was really weak.
Yeah, well,
And-
that's what happens when you're surviving on Mary Jane's.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. It's not a healthy diet.
And licking.
Leaves.
The leaves.
Rain leaves.
So after that, she finds a small hut. Luckily, she found like a can of gasoline in the hut.
What did she do with that?
Like she
She-
set the hut on fire.
No.
Send a smoke signal.
Because she knew her shit, right? And she was like, my arm is the biggest problem right now because like maggots are eating through it.
Oh god.
So she takes the can of
Spider
gasoline,
girl,
sucks it
spider
out with her
girl.
mouth, and then spits it into her wound because the gasoline would draw the maggots out.
She's a fucking.
She's
She's
badass.
a badass motherfucker.
Yeah,
Wow.
she plays no games played. The gasoline trick that she did saved her arm.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because otherwise it would have been gone. It
would have been amputated.
The people of the village that like lived in these like this whole hut moment here, they were hesitant to help her because they literally thought that she was a demon from the water. They literally thought she was a fucking water demon. Actually, a specific water demon with the name.
They had a reference?
Yes, the name of this water demon is called Yamanja. And
Oh, Yamanja.
Yamanja.
Oh my god, don't say that 5 times. Be
yes,
careful.
Yamanja.
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 Yamanja me. Yamanja.
So
Manja.
they thought that she was this demon because one, she had red eyes because they were bloodshot,
Well, yeah, and they were
And
like probably half closed too.
half closed, swollen.
Fuck that.
And two, she had blonde hair, and local legend claimed that there is a demon that lives in the water, sort of like a siren's, and and this demon has blonde hair
fuck up.
and red eyes. Luckily, she could speak Spanish.
Oh, she
And-
was like, I'm not a demon.
yeah, she was like, no demon. I don't know if that's how
No
you say
demon.
I don't know if that's how you say demon in Spanish, but no
Demone?
phantasma.
No phantasma.
That means not a ghost.
yeah.
So
Yeah, why not?
she was able to explain to them, like, no, I'm not this demon. Like, I was in a plane crash. This is what happened. She was rescued. Now, there was some aftermath from this. She gave accurate directions to the search team to recover the bodies from the wreckage. They found her mom. Unfortunately, her mom was dead.
R.I.P.
And this is so upsetting.
Oh, no.
Allegedly, they found out that her mother had actually survived the plane crash too.
No. What do you mean?
The mother survived the fall, allegedly, but died a few days later.
No.
due to the
Stop
the
it. I don't wanna know
injuries.
this.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
That
yeah,
is really upsetting.
Are you fucking kidding?
yeah. Aside from that, she went on to study butterflies and bats in the jungle, following the scientific footsteps of both of her parents. She had also received her doctorate in mammalogy.
Studying mammals.
And she moved to Munich and worked as a librarian. In 1974, this highly fictionalized movie called Miracles Still Happen
It's not a fucking miracle. It's a goddamn nightmare.
The movie came out in like 74, and it was like in Italy and the United States, and it's just really cheesy and over the top. Really dramatizes more of her interactions with the animals in the rainforest. They really depict her as this like scantily dressed Barbie doll, afraid of all of the animals, where in fact she was a well-educated, smart, powerful
Nell.
woman.
Yeah.
Who, and she knew what she was doing in the rainforest.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was no Barbie doll, like lost in.
That's fucking offensive.
Well, that's what fucking Hollywood does.
Yeah.
No.
So Juliane is still alive today, and
Oh, bless her.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
Juliane.
awesome.
Yes, we stand you.
stand with you, Juliane.
We
Yeah.
like you. So she is still alive, and occasionally she does interviews to talk about her experience. She is, in my opinion, a really great depiction of a strong woman and someone who had to overcome like a tremendous amount of harsh circumstances. For her, I think what makes this bizarre and unusual is that it was both luck that was in her favor in regards to surviving the actual fall. And then when her luck ran out, she used her own wit, rigor, and determination to survive.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that she won on both arenas of this.
Yeah. That was great.
Even though she had this traumatic experience, she still lives a really fulfilling life.
Wow.
And that is the story of Juliane Koepcke and Flight.
Mark always does these
Finally.
I love them. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Violet Jessup.
wow. Like, what can you say?
Yeah.
Make the comparison of I Survived, which is a popular show, or was, or I don't know, whatever. But there's so many people, and now this is not meant to be offensive to people who may have religious beliefs or anything. Like, you know, believe what you want. It's all cool. We don't fine.
Judge.
We don't judge.
Believe what you want, but don't be an asshole
Exactly.
about it.
Believe what you want. Don't push it on others. The end. But,
end.
you know.
God bless America.
That's right.
And the rainforest.
Born in the USA with Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen. So I remember there was this one story, and, you know, normally everyone, like at the end, I guess the interviewer off camera is like, why do you think you survived? You know? And they're all like, because of my faith in Jesus Christ.
Give me a fucking break.
I know.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
survived because I prayed. Or,
I know, but there was
Prayer.
this one.
Prayer.
I know, prayer saved me my
Lifting
faith.
me up in prayer.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there was this one woman though, and you know, her answer, because she was like kidnapped, sexually abused, all this, and she was like, I survived because I was sexually abused my entire fucking life, not fucking, but you know.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I knew how to maneuver a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Good for her.
Good for you, bitch.
go. Tell them.
Be real.
Tell everybody.
We love
Be
you, girl.
real.
Yeah, but like that's it, you know. And I feel like in other countries, like what she was originally from Germany.
Germany
I
and
feel
then
like,
South America.
yeah,
You
to
know.
my knowledge,
South
Germany.
America is a continent, not a country.
Oh my god. Oh god. I'm gonna be canceled. I know that. South
You know,
America's a continent.
it's
She was
fine.
from the country of Peru.
Peru,
Yes,
which
but
is
any-
in South
sorry.
America.
Bonjour, Peru.
I have to educate the two marks.
if
Sorry.
anybody wants to donate a globe to
Just
our
remember
Patreon,
that Morocco is in France.
it's in,
I've been on an airplane probably less than 5 times in my life.
yeah, less than Werner Herzog. Anyway, but yeah, what I was going to say is that I think Germany is one of those places where like God and religion is not like
It's
a
not.
thing.
No.
So
I could tell you that right now.
So I love that her story, and she's from there, and she used her knowledge and the thing that worked in her favor, which is fucking science or math
And
or whatever,
exactly.
with the wind bullshit and everything else.
Unfortunately, like even though like her mom didn't survive the plane crash, like she was able to like take those skills that have kind of like that were embedded in her
Yeah.
her whole life
Yes.
to get her out.
The things her parents taught her, including
Exactly.
her mother and yes.
Yeah.
What an inspiring story.
Yeah. I loved it.
Don't rush to get into a plane crash,
Please
anybody,
don't.
but like
and don't ever fly a plane made out of tin cans
Yeah.
and cat piss and
newspapers.
Gorilla Glue and
And I will share with you.
feces.
I know someone who's a pilot, and I once asked him, "Have you ever seen a UFO?" And he showed me photos of weird
And
lights.
remember when I thought I saw a UFO and I drew
Yes,
it?
and he showed me the photos, and I sent you the
Yeah.
photo that he sent me, and you were like, "That's it." Anyway,
I thought I saw a UFO like 3 years ago.
yeah,
And it was like intense.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But it wasn't really dramatic, unfortunately.
Oh.
It looked like a discoloration in the sky, like almost like a blob.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you like had a smudge on the camera or something like that. It was a discoloration in the sky, and there was 3 circles inside of it that were illuminated.
That's exactly what his photos look like.
Yeah.
You saw them.
Yeah.
I'll find
Yeah.
the screenshot.
Show
I have
me.
it for you.
That's another episode.
Yeah, maybe I'll post it later. Patreon content. But speaking of Patreon, listen, everyone, we love you. If you are in the generous spirit and if you're able to, on Patreon for $3 a month, we try to, as often as possible, give you deleted footage, outtakes, basically all of the things that don't make it to this episode or our episodes in general.
Or just us being silly, hanging around.
Exactly. And we're always going to add more interesting content, whether it's learning about all of us or getting a peek into our lives, whatever it is. Or let us know what you want to see.
Research of our topics.
Yeah, exactly. But if you can't afford to do that, listen, we're all working people here. You can do us a great favor by going on Apple/iTunes and leaving a positive.
Not a negative, a positive review.
And what are the bad and good stars, Jen?
Not a 1 star, but a 5 star.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that is a free thing that you can do that can help your friends here.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, Bizarre Buffet.
Yeah, I guess that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
With that being said, I'm the airplane that crashed in the rainforest.
I'm the leg sticking up out of the ground.
And I'm the water demon.
Have a great night.
Have a good night.
May God be with you and Satan.
Blessings and abundance.